The Hood will begin each quest with 28 loaded bullets in his Hex Pistols. This has a max of 42 loaded bullets. The Hood's bullets persist from fight to fight within a quest. When nullifying a buff, load 2 bullets back into the pistols. And if the opponent misses while the Hood is invisible, he will load 1 bullet when the invisibility ends. Using medium attacks or special 2, there is a 100% chance to fire a bullet and inflict a stacking hex, lasting 12 seconds. Each hex deals a burst of energy damage when it expires, and is refreshed when a new hex is gained. Dashing back and holding block for 1.2 seconds, the Hood has a 100% chance to gain an invisibility buff for 8 seconds. When ending, invisibility goes on cooldown for 6 seconds. While active, Hood's attacks gain increased critical damage rating and ignore 75% armor rating and block proficiency. While active, incoming attacks have a 120% chance to miss. Each time the opponent misses an attack, the miss chance is decreased by a flat 20% until the invisibility ends. This will guarantee the first 2 attacks into the invisibility will miss, while all others after the first 2 have a chance at missing. Critical hits have a 100% chance to inflict a non-stacking stagger passive, lasting 5 seconds. When a staggered opponent would gain a buff, that buff and all buffs triggered at the same time are nullified. When the stagger ends, it inflicts direct damage on the opponent and heals the Hood for a matching amount. Heavy attacks refresh the duration of all personal bleed and fate seal effects Hood has applied to the opponent. It will also cause all hexes to expire immediately with a plus 100% potency. Special 1 has a 100% chance to inflict a shock debuff, causing energy damage over 7.5 seconds. If this shock expires after lasting its full duration, there is a 100% chance to inflict a stun debuff, lasting for 3 seconds. Special Attack 2 has a 100% chance to apply a Fate Seal to the opponent, nullifying all buffs and prevents any new buffs from activating for 6.5 seconds. While this Fate Seal is active, the opponent's ability accuracy is reduced by 65%. At the end of the attack, the Hood will activate invisibility. The Special Attack 3 has an increased attack rating for each full bar of power the opponent has, and has a 100% chance to inflict a bleed, dealing direct damage over 8 seconds. Using an Awakened Hood, the Hood becomes immune to all stun effects while invisible. Additionally, firing a bullet while invisible has a 45% chance to steal 10% of the opponent's current power, gaining twice that amount in the process. The Hood can be treated as kind of a mystic form of ghost, in which you can maintain his invisibility fairly regularly throughout the fight. His invisibility is going to be key to maintain his Hex Pistol bullets. Now, his Hex Pistol bullets, again, this was the problem with the buff when they did it earlier in 2021, is that they are persistent charges throughout a quest, not only a fight. So the number of bullets that you end a fight with is going to be your starting number of bullets in the next fight. So the problem here is that if you are loading a large amount of bullets onto the opponent to deal out a lot of damage, when you start the next fight, you're going to have much less to start with. This can be an issue when you're trying to maintain his damage throughout multiple nodes on a quest. To counter this, make sure that you are using Hood in fights or against champions or nodes where there are a large amount of buffs being supplied to the opponent. The more he can nullify buffs, the more he is going to load bullets back into his guns, as well as make sure you're using the invisibility and allowing the opponent to miss several times in order to, again, load bullets back into the guns. More than likely, you will find that you do not use the Special 1 nor the Special 3 very often unless you end up getting cornered and you just have to use it to get out of a situation. The idea with the hood is to maintain his invisibility as much as possible, allow the opponent to miss as much as possible, and race towards your special 2. You really just want to be using your special 2 as far as special attacks go, because this will place more hexes on the opponent. It will place a fate seal on the opponent, which will nullify any current buffs and future buffs while it is active, thus allowing you to load more bullets, and it will again turn you invisible. So all of his really great mechanics are all encompassed in his special 2. Also remember that once invisibility deactivates, it has a 6-second cooldown timer. However, special 2 will cancel this timer and put you right back into invisibility. This is not the case with the dash back and hold block method to go invisible. However, if you time that correctly, once your dash invisibility ends, if you are at your special 2, you can then fire off your special 2 and go straight back into invisibility. Make sure you are keeping a close eye on all of the hexes on the opponent throughout the fight, because once these expire, if you do not use your heavy attack to detonate them, once these expire, they are gone and you cannot get them back. This will especially be a problem if you've spent most of the fight loading on a large number of hex bullets to the opponent, and then you have a very small amount left loaded in your gun, and then you don't use them, they just expire, and you've just lost the ability to create maximum damage. Remember, in the end, what you want to do is to throw your heavy attack in order to detonate those hex bullets and create the maximum amount of damage, which will have an increased potency of plus 100%.